Hey guys, I'm Simone. Welcome to Mama Says. Today we're shooting an episode that's actually very personal because I'm going to talk about my 9-month pregnancy journey. So before I start talking about my personal journey, I want to tell all the moms to be out there and the new moms that there's something called the National Safe Motherhood Day in India. That is celebrated on the 11th of April, and I had no idea that this day existed, but I actually researched a little about it, and it stands for something really amazing. Because the infant mortality rate in India is so high, the government and the UNICEF and WHO and all of them came together to create this day, to create awareness so that mothers know the do's and the don'ts of what to do when they're pregnant and how to have a safe, healthy and happy pregnancy. So coming back to my 9-month pregnancy journey. Firstly guys, I want to tell you that no two pregnancies are the same, no two mothers are the same, no two babies will be the same. So let's never compare, but we must always have a basic, generic understanding of what every mother will always go through during pregnancy. So if I'm going to compare my own pregnancies, which is Zephyr and Serena, they were, of course they were different because I was at a different place in life. I was going through different things. So based on that, it would obviously be different. But as far as the symptoms went, they were pretty standard with me in both cases. Now, if we're going to talk about the first trimester, wait, before we talk about the first trimester, let me tell you that no matter how much you read, no matter how many of these videos you watch, no matter what, amount of effort you put into understanding what you will go through, there will always be things that will surface that you didn't plan for or you didn't think about. And it's okay. You're going to wing it because you're a super mama and you're going to figure this out along the way. Coming back to my pregnancy journey. So let's talk about Zephyr. As a first-time mom, I had no idea what I was getting into. To me, pregnancy was like, the movies where it's like all this, the mom gets pregnant and she eats for 2, and trust me, I ate for 10. I didn't eat for 2, which is why I gained 29 kilos. Do not repeat my mistake, guys, because you're actually not eating for 2, you're eating for like 1 1/4. So please remember that. And anyone tells you that, oh, kuch bhi kha lo, yehi time hai, don't listen to them. Just don't listen to them. Eat right, eat healthy, stay focused, and just make sure that you have a healthy and a happy pregnancy. So my first trimester in both cases was exhausting. I was just tired all the time. Right after you conceive and you find that test and you've tested positive, I don't think it's psychological. It's obviously definitely hormonal. But the shift that happens in those 5 weeks, which is actually like your second month of pregnancy, is bizarre. You feel so tired. No matter how much you sleep, it's never enough. Anything I was doing, anything I was trying to do with work, anything I was trying to do with life in general was just draining me, and I couldn't understand why. In fact, I was so paranoid the first time that I kept going and doing blood tests to see, are my levels okay? Is my iron fluctuating? Is something happening? Because I didn't know. But my doctor kept reminding me that it's absolutely normal to experience this, and what I'm going through is extremely normal. So rule number 1, guys, always communicate with your doctor. Your doctor knows best. Talk to your doctor. Have absolute faith and trust in your doctor. And if you don't, then choose another doctor. But you have to learn how to trust your doctor, because they're going to guide you through this, and they're going to be, there for you through all these changes, and you have to learn how to trust them. So coming back to my first trimester in my first pregnancy, actually in my second pregnancy too, I didn't get morning sickness in either of my pregnancies. I wasn't throwing up, but the nausea and that feeling of wanting to throw up, that was there through and through, and that's a horrible feeling. The one thing that really, really helps with that is ginger. So anything ginger, ginger and lemon water, ginger, you get ginger candy, ginger sweets, anything ginger really helps subside that disgusting nausea feeling that you get in your first trimester. According to me, the first trimester is the hardest because you're just making all these lifestyle changes, and then to top it all, you're suddenly dealing with all of this coming to you as a bang, because it's like, I just found out I'm pregnant, and then now 1 week later, all of this is just like tuck, tuck, tuck. One of the most disgusting symptoms that I experienced in both my pregnancies is sense of smell. Now, every mom who's been pregnant knows that your sense of smell becomes legitimately superhuman when you're pregnant. That means any body odor is escalated 100-fold. I just remember wanting to bath all the time because anyway you feel nausea, and then to top it all, you smell all this gross stuff all over. It's nasty and it happens to everyone. Expect it. I know that there's a lot of working moms out there, and obviously you don't get maternity leave in your first trimester of pregnancy. You have to keep working. I am extremely, extremely lucky that I work for myself because that kind of means that I can sleep in on the days that I need to, and I have a team that is supportive enough to take things forward for me. But I know that there's a lot of you mamas out there that are working in corporate jobs and doing all of this stuff, and you're not going to get leave. And I send you so much power through that first trimester because I know how difficult it gets. But we're superhuman, and I'm going to repeat the fact that we're superhuman through this episode because we really are. So coming back to food in the first trimester, it's like I said, please don't starve yourself, guys. The worst time to try and diet and lose weight is when you're pregnant. That's called foolishness. Don't do that. I definitely did eat whatever I wanted to through both my pregnancies. Having said that, with Serena, I learned a little bit from Zephyr and I was slightly more careful. I mean, not that careful, because Zephyr, I gained 29 kilos and Serena, I gained 24 kilos. So it wasn't that amazing, because the ideal weight gain during pregnancy is 12 to 16 kilos, depending on your pre-pregnancy weight. But around that spectrum is the proper amount of weight to gain. I obviously surpassed it both times. Though we've done this amazing video on pregnancy nutrition and postpartum nutrition on my channel, so definitely go check that one out because that's going to help you tell you what to eat or what not to eat. Other than that, of course, guys, hormones are fluctuating up and down. I don't think you're that hormonal per se in your first trimester, because it's more about you're so tired and you have so much nausea that you don't have time to understand the hormonal imbalance that is happening at this point. It's not even an imbalance, it's a surge of new hormones that is coming in, right? So yeah, but the great news is that the second trimester is just amazing. It's the best trimester. It's when life kind of balances and eases out. Your bump is growing, all the cute, fun stuff happens, the baby starts kicking, you start gaining weight, but whatever. But the second trimester is like a breath of fresh air after the first trimester, and it's a great break before trimester 3 hits. So again, in my first trimester, I was told to avoid Chinese food because there is a lot of MSG in Chinese food. Now, what this MSG does, guys, is we need to have understanding of why we're not eating things, right? So we're not eating Chinese not because it's going to harm the baby, but we're not eating that MSG because that nausea that you're feeling is going to be escalated tenfold when you eat that MSG. So you're not eating that MSG for yourself. It has nothing to do with the baby. So though I did eat a few Chinese meals here and there, but I felt sick every time I ate them. Another thing that is, a myth is that you have to stop drinking coffee. For me, coffee is life. Of course, when I'm trying to lose weight postpartum, I drink black coffee. I can't be drinking black coffee because it's really that strong in my first trimester, and that's a lot of caffeine coming in. But mix it up with milk, add a little bit of sugar, make it yummy, make it delicious, make it frothy, and just drink a coffee once a day and it's absolutely fine. Check with your doctor. My doctor gave me a green signal for coffee, and I'm so happy that she did that. Another thing that all moms want to know is, can I drink alcohol when I'm pregnant. Now, of course, you can't drink alcohol when you're pregnant, but you can definitely have an occasional glass of wine here and there through your pregnancy. Your doctor will tell you that it's fine and it's safe. My doctor gave me the green signal for that as well. It's not like I was tanking up the wine every night, but on those special occasions, my best friend got married during my second pregnancy. And, watching all my friends having so much fun, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, my doctor's like, it's okay. You can have a glass of wine. Sometimes what you can even do is, what I did is I diluted my wine with ice and water so that I could have 2 glasses of wine. Just be cautious, but don't be panicky and anxious, because anxiety is possibly worse for the baby than that little bit of wine that you're going to drink. Like I said, every pregnancy is different, every case is different. Please check with your individual doctors. In my case, when I was pregnant with Zephyr, I was not allowed to work out for the first 3 months at all. That is because I had a low-lying placenta. And, the first 3 months are very delicate. It's a delicate time. The chances of miscarriage are highest in your first trimester. Once you cross that first trimester, you're in a much safer place as far as that goes. So I personally wasn't allowed to do any sort of fitness during my first 3 months with Zephyr. At the same time with Serena, I was allowed to. So here's how it goes, guys. If you are in general a person who does yoga on a daily basis or works out on a daily basis and does all of this stuff, then doing it and continuing it into your pregnancy is something that is going to happen easily and is not going to be harmful. But if you're a lazy person, like I was before Zephyr, after Zephyr, I was so into fitness, trying to lose all my weight. And then as soon as I lost my weight, I became pregnant again. So the workout was part of my life. But before Zephyr, I was pretty lazy. And so suddenly to shock my body and to start, lifting weights and doing all of that, again, absolute foolishness, not required. You can continue going for light walks. When I say light walks, I mean nothing more than 10 to 15 minutes, slowly walking, take it easy just to get your body moving, because the legs start hurting, your body starts hurting and all of that. But all in all, check with your doctor. I worked out through my pregnancy with Serena, light workouts, pregnancy safe workouts, no lifting heavy weights, no doing forward bends, obviously that's going to affect the stomach, There's a bunch of amazing pregnancy workouts that you can find online. Check them out and definitely do them. Because staying fit through your pregnancies, it's essential for your peace of mind more than anything else. So the one thing that I would ask all of you to remember, and this is not for your first trimester, this is through the 9 months of pregnancy and every day after that for the rest of your life, is that energy is real. We are all energy, everything around us is energy. And whether you believe this or not, the bottom line is that when you're pregnant and there's this life within you, your state of mind, your state of being is of utmost importance. Does that mean that I didn't get angry or didn't cry through my pregnancy? Of course I did, I'm human. But you have to be mindful at that moment when you feel those low emotions that I need to pull myself together for the life within me. I need to pull myself together so that the life within me doesn't get affected, because truly there is no greater deterrent to a pregnancy than stress. It's something we have to avoid at all costs. And I hope that other than the moms, there are dads watching this video, there are mother-in-laws watching this video, there are moms watching this video, because the family support is so important. Now, when I was pregnant with Zephyr, I got treated like I was like a petal who's about to dissolve if I didn't take care of myself. When I got pregnant with Serena, everyone's like, oh, she knows how to do this now, forget it. Oh, please, you know how to do this, stop creating drama. It's not drama. My hormones are not drama. They're real. I'm a woman who's creating a life within me, and I'm experiencing a lot of shifts in my mood, and they are real. And the only thing you need at that point is immense support from your husband, your family, your friends, because there are days that you're going to flip out and you need them to be your sanity in those moments, right? So I believe that, travel is something that fills my heart, my soul, my everything. And that was one of my biggest concerns when I got pregnant, that am I going to be able to travel? Yes, you can travel. Again, with Zephyr, for the first 3 months, I wasn't allowed travel. I wasn't bedridden, but I had to just take it easy and chill out. With Serena, everything was fine. I was living life normally. In both cases, when I was pregnant with Zephyr, I took a 13-hour flight to New York. This was in my second trimester. The second trimester is your time to go wild and free, have fun, do what you want, enjoy those baby moons and all of that stuff. And I flew to New York. I had my whole family on the plane with me. There are certain few precautions that you have to take when you're flying, especially such long flights. Like, I flew to Dubai as well. It's a 2.5-hour flight from Bombay. No problem, fly, take it easy, go, chilled out. When I was flying to America, a 13-hour flight means that there's a possibility of water retention, there's a possibility of blood pressure, etc., etc. So what you have to do is wear compression socks. You get a special set of socks called compression socks that they're really tight, and you put them up and they come up literally to your knee, and you just pull them onto your legs. They're like suffocatingly tight. But what that does is it stops you from getting any sort of swelling in your feet, because the minute you start swelling up in your feet, that swelling starts passing upwards into the body, right? So don't be scared of it. There's nothing to be scared of. Millions of pregnant girls travel all the time. Like I said, speak to your doctor, get a Fit to Fly certificate. You can never fly when you're pregnant without a Fit to Fly certificate from your doctor, so remember that. All airports, all securities will always ask you for that Fit to Fly certificate. So just always take the necessary precautions, guys, but do not let fear stop you from living your life. You're pregnant, you're not disabled. Having said that, the one thing I did do, and I was a bit careful about, is in both cases, I reduced my use of creams and products and, anti-aging serums and stuff. They all have a lot of chemicals in them that are actually not suitable during pregnancy. So I moved from, I'm a person who's like a hoarder of like beauty stuff. It was all out of my life. All I used on my skin was coconut oil. And the best part is that from that first pregnancy up till now, the only thing I use on my skin is coconut oil, guys. I literally just stopped using all those serums and all those night creams and day creams and this cream and that cream. Coconut oil is now my jam. So mamas, if there's one piece of advice, there's 2 pieces of advice that I'm going to give you for your first trimester. Trust me, listen to this. It is serious. 1, you're feeling tired, sleep as much as you want. I promise you, this trimester is going to be the last time you sleep really, really well and really, really comfortably for a very, very long time. Once you hit your second trimester and your baby grows and puts that pressure on the bladder, you are going to be peeing all the time, which means you're not going to sleep through the night. And the same thing is going to get 100 times worse in your third trimester. And then the baby is born and then the baby wants milk in the night, so you're not going to sleep anyway. Sleep, 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 sleep. Use the first trimester to sleep. Even if that means you coming home from work at 7 o'clock and going to sleep at 8 and waking up 12 hours later, do it. No amount of sleep is enough at this point. Go for it. The second most important advice that I can give you is start oiling your belly from the day you find out you are pregnant. There's a lot of people that will tell you, oh, wait for the bump to show and then start, getting the oil on. I am, thank you universe, so lucky that I got away with stretch marks both times. I didn't end up with a single stretch mark on my stomach. Now, before I continue, let me clear a very important fact about stretch marks. If your mom had stretch marks, and this is not a myth, this is a fact. If your mom had stretch marks, there is a 90% chance that you will get stretch marks, and that is why you have to be 100 times more at it and more careful. My mom didn't get stretch marks. I did use a lot of bio oil and almond oil and coconut oil and this cream and that cream. And I got lucky, but I have friends who use the same amount of creams as me and they didn't get lucky because in their genes, stretch marks is a thing. So don't beat yourself up too much about those stretch marks. I know that it can take a toll on you, but you're also creating literally the best thing that's ever going to happen to your life. And so a little bit of stretch mark here and there, you'll find a way to get over it. So now that I've spoken to you about all this remorse, hectic stuff, let's get to the happy part. There comes a day when you finish your first trimester, and it's not like, oh, I finished my first trimester, tomorrow starts my second trimester, so that's going to be the day. No. That day could even come in 4 months, it could come in 4.5 months, but I promise you that day comes when suddenly you wake up in the morning and you feel normal. You feel like you have life in you again. You feel this gush of energy. You feel you don't feel nauseous anymore. You don't want to throw up. You're not exhausted. You're not feeling. You'll understand when you wake up and feel that. Trust me, mamas, you will understand, because that day is an amazing day, because that day is the sign that the next 2 months after that, you're gonna be good on your energy supply. So there's always light at the end of the tunnel. No, but on a serious note, what happens in the second trimester is you get this amazing boost of energy, which gives you the ability to start doing stuff. And around the 5th to the 6th month is when moms get into the nesting phase. Nesting means, you want to make sure the nursery is perfect. You want to make sure that you've got your list checked, the hospital bag, the essentials for newborns. By the way, we've done videos on all of this, so go check our Mama Says videos out. But you start getting into that phase of wanting to make everything perfect, creating this perfect nest for the baby that's about to come. Go for it, feel free, go wild, don't overbuy things. When I say we've done a lot of Mama Says videos on this, trust me, you want to see them, because it's the truth. With Zephyr, I bought so much stuff, so unnecessary, so not required, what a waste of money, But with Serena, poor thing is using all of Zephyr's stuff only. I learned not to be foolish, Our planet doesn't require us to be greedy and just hoard and buy. We need to reuse, we need to refuse, and we need to be sensible. And care about your money, na? So as this whole nesting phase is going on, and you've got this energy, and baby is growing in your tummy, the one kind of negative symptom of the second trimester, I really do not remember the term. I know it's called sneezing. It's called something. It's basically every time you sneeze, you pee. It's a disaster, guys. It's a disaster. Sometimes if I laugh too hard, I would pee a little bit. I'd be like, ha-choo, and pee. I'm like, shh, now what? So that happens, and it only gets worse till the end of your pregnancy, let me tell you this. As the baby grows, as the bump grows, as it puts pressure on the bladder, there comes the pee. Which is why an extremely important advice, again coming to you, is Kegels, 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 Kegels. You cannot do enough Kegels in a day. Just do the Kegels, guys. You gotta keep that vagina and all of that in place. Kegels really help with the bladder control and the urinary passing that happens. So Kegels it is. Another thing that I started in my second trimester, I started at about week 19 or 20 of pregnancy in both cases, was prenatal yoga. I used a lovely, lovely lady, her name is Teja Lanti. She's superb, because what she did is not only do prenatal yoga with me, in the sense it wasn't just physical. She was like my emotional, my spiritual, my mental guide through my pregnancy. She kept me positive. She made me breathe, because breathing and letting that proper oxygen in to the baby and into your belly is so important. And it's things we don't even consider, when we're in the hustle bustle of our day, when we're in the depth of going through the symptoms and feeling low or feeling tired or whatever it may be, we forget things that are as important as just breathing. So, belly breathing is something she made me do a lot. Talking to my child is something she made me do a lot. you know. Self-talk is something she taught me so much of, because no matter how good your support system is, there's going to be days that you need an upper, and the only person who's going to be able to help you is you. So do not become a victim through this pregnancy, please. Being a victim is just a self-corroding emotion. Rise up, rise above it. I'm a person who practices Buddhism, so that was my spiritual pathway during both my pregnancies, to help me stay sane and to help me stay positive. Please find yours, whatever it may be. It could be meditating, it could be praying to, whatever God you pray to, or however you want to do it, whatever spiritual path you want to take, go for it, but ensure that you do something spiritual during your pregnancy. It is extremely beneficial to both mama and baby. So, do you want to hear what the most positive part of the second trimester is? Your hair growth is phenomenal. My hair was like this big Victoria's Secret blow-dried hair, so much volume, so much shine, so much bounce. It was amazing. And right now, it's in the process of, the falling part, because I've weaned baby. It's this time where you will lose hair. We'll do another episode on that later, guys. Okay. Another thing that started happening to me towards the end of the second trimester is foot cramps. They were unbearable. Like in my case, they were unbearable. All the husbands out there, y'all better massage your wives' feet whenever they demand it. Hear me. It's important. I was really in a lot of pain. There were times I would get into bed at 1 a.m. and I wouldn't sleep till 4 o'clock in the morning, or maybe even 5 o'clock, because I was just tossing and turning, trying to stretch my leg, trying to do yoga in the middle of my bed in the night. It was, crazy. So what I would suggest is take Epsom salts, take a nice hot bucket of water and soak your legs in that proper hot water before you get into bed. I really think that really eased the pain a little bit. It didn't always help, but it definitely eased it. Don't get people to massage you randomly, because there are certain pressure points on the foot that can affect the baby. So get someone who's trained in prenatal massage to definitely come home once a week and give you a nice massage and calm you down. Another thing that I would really suggest is, while you're getting these massages, or through the day, whenever you get free time, listen to soothing spa ambient music. It's calming for mama and baby, because there's so much happening around us at this point. You need to mindfully do things that are going to calm you down, and things that are going to relax you. You just have to do that, and that's an investment that's going to pay huge dividends. So please, please, please do that. Well, last but not the least, when we're ending the second trimester, what starts happening is heartburn. Whatever you eat is it's not a nice feeling, but it's a real feeling. Every single pregnant mom goes through heartburn. Figure out the foods that are causing you heartburn and avoid those. Eat what's more soothing. A lot of girls told me, because I was sharing my pregnancy, on Zephyr's page on Instagram. The whole vlog, week by week, is on Zephyr's page. Go check it out anytime you guys want. And when I used to share things talk about my heartburn and stuff, I had a lot of moms pouring in advice, saying that, you should eat things like yogurt, dahi really helps. Someone was saying lemon water. There were people giving a bunch of advice. I took what worked for me. You're going to have to test and try and see what is working for your body and what isn't, and stick to it, because heartburn is real. So I remember when I was entering the third trimester, it's yay, we're at the home stretch. It's the last trimester. It's almost done. But it's also really hard to let go of the fact that you're going to lose all that energy, because come third trimester, you go back to first trimester symptoms, where you're again completely low on energy. Only this time it is crazier, because you are heavier. You want to pee all the time. Guys, there was literally nights, zero exaggeration, in both my pregnancies, where I was getting up from the bed, and getting up from the bed, firstly, turn to the side, bump is big, then then you walk to the toilet, great difficulty, you pee, you come back into bed, you lie down and get comfortable again, and 2 minutes later, you want to pee again. Oh my God, peeing used to drive me mental in both my pregnancies. Like, I think I've spoken about peeing so much on Instagram, it was a joke. Heartburn gets more severe, exhaustion comes back, doing anything physical at this point gets very, very tiring. So I definitely did. I don't think I really worked out or did too much of anything physical in the last 2 months of my pregnancy in both cases, because I was like completely tired by this point and so heavy, and 24 kilos and 29 kilos means I was like one penguin waddling around town. But I was working. I worked till the last day in both my pregnancies. And so in the middle of working and in my second pregnancy, I had to take care of an infant at that point. Zephyr was only 1 year old when I got pregnant, So there was definitely no time for gym for me. And it's fine. You got to do what works for you. Just remember, do not get influenced by those Instagram moms who gain nothing but one bump on their belly. I am secretly extremely jealous of them. I'm like, where's your baby? Are you eating? What's going on? Like, I'm like expanding and you're like vanishing. Like, what's the scene, dude? But don't get influenced by them. Everybody is different, and I, for one, I have a tendency of gaining weight through my pregnancy. I was really genuinely a lot more careful with Serena. I still gained weight during my pregnancy. My belly has a tendency of getting massive. I think it's an Indian thing, I really do think so. But anyway, my belly was like there, and my bum was like there, and it was a scene. But come the third trimester, you just have to. It's time to just get ready to deliver this baby soon and to garner all the energy to be able to do that. So even though you're not working out, you still have to continue that that prenatal yoga. You still have to continue the Kegels. You still have to, towards the end of your pregnancy, like in the last month, in the 9th month, around say week 36, 35, 36 onwards, you have to start the duck walks. If a natural delivery is what you're planning, then those duck walks, as difficult as they are. Imagine with such a big belly attempting to be on your feet and doing a duck walk. I can barely do it when I'm like not pregnant, But they helped me. I was, I personally wanted a natural delivery in both cases, and it definitely did work for me and help me, and I'm really grateful for that too. Another thing that happens in the third trimester is breathlessness, because again, the baby is, heavy and is resting against you and all your organs so much that breathing becomes a little bit more taxing. So take it easy, chill out. This is the time to kind of start your slowing down process. I'm not saying slow down completely. Like I said, I was working till the last day, but I obviously wasn't working 12-hour days, So you got to take it easy. You got to slow down. All of you who get maternity leave, absolutely take it. It's an essential. There's so much stuff to do. There's a hospital bag to pack. I packed my hospital bag with Zephyr so well. I had lists and lists and lists, and everything was perfect and Instagrammable and whatnot. Okay. When I was delivering Serena, I thought I'm a pro. Like, I know it all, and I'm going to figure it out. And in this process, I had all my stuff, but there was no bag packed. And I literally went to the doctor, and it was like 38 weeks or so. And she told me, she's like, I'm going to have to induce you today because there's a kind of a little bit of stress on the baby, and we need to induce you and send you to the hospital. And my mom was like, okay, let me go home and get your hospital bag. And I'm like, there's no bag. And of course, moms being moms, she started flipping out on me and, telling me how irresponsible I am. Will mothers ever stop telling children that? I don't think so. Anyway, whatever, I got my stuff together. Don't make the same mistake I did. It's just nice to just get it out of the way. Keep a bag. You don't need a fancy hospital bag. Just take any big trolley bag that you have, like one of those trolleys at home. Fill it up with stuff, because you need a lot of stuff when you're at the hospital. We've done a video on what to pack in your hospital bag on Mama Says. Go check that out. So to end my pregnancy journey, I would just like to say, take a minute to, be grateful, have immense gratitude that you were able to create this life within you and get pregnant. Let's give a lot of respect and power and strength to all those mamas out there that are really, really, really trying to conceive, and they're struggling for various reasons. It's become a real problem nowadays with so many people that I know. And, so take that moment out to be grateful, complain less during your pregnancy, be positive, send those positive vibes to your baby, and honestly, guys, just be grateful. It's an opportunity that many are denied nowadays. So let's just be grateful, always. Make gratitude your only attitude. So guys, on that note, don't forget to check out all the videos that we've shared on this side with you. They're gonna help all the new moms to be. Share this video with all the new mamas that you know. I'm sure it's gonna help all of them. And please share your comments with us. Tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what more videos you want us to do, the topics you want us to cover. We're reading everything that you guys are sharing, and we will be happy to do what you want us to do, because that's what we're here for. So subscribe to our channel and click that bell icon. See you next time, guys.